First thing is, I guess I need a motion for adopting the agenda. Michelle? All in favor? Carried. Of course, there's no meeting last month, so any comments or on the minutes from the November 21st meeting? If not, we'll look for a motion to adopt. Okay. Lloyd? All in favor? Carried. We have development applications for viewing. Anyone have any comments on anything?
Yes.
Michelle?
Good thing I got my paper out. On page 12, let me just find it. For the Bros development. Okay, my question is that it says the development involving is 35% site coverage. And then one of the conditions on condition 16, it says that it's not to exceed 30%. So what does that mean?
Through the chair, the applicant submitted a stormwater management plan approving the stormwater runoff to be the coverage to be 35%, and it looks as if we set a maximum of 30% in the condition, that should probably be updated to read 35%.
Yeah, that's kind of
what's approved.
what I was thinking, because it's a development, it doesn't come through here kind of thing, it's just for our viewing, and that's just something I noticed. At the top, it says 35, and then on condition 16, it says cannot exceed 30. That's kind of contradictory.
That typo will be addressed.
Okay.
And I apologize for ever looking at.
No worries, that was all I noticed. Oh, wait. 24, is that still in the development things? Page 24. Come on. Oh yeah, that was what it was. What is it? Because there's nothing that says what it was for.
Okay, which one am I looking at?
Hard surface site coverage. What does that mean?
Through the chair, this is part of a compliance report. It's sort of a precursor to granting a compliance. A compliance came in for this property, and their site coverage was above the amount that we allow in the land use bylaws, so we asked them to get a development permit for approving the site coverage above the, and this is what it is. This is the development permit for the coverage, and it's approving it up to, 39%, and then that way we can grant a compliance letter as a legal non-conforming.
And that was all I had.
Yeah.
I was just going to follow up Aaron's comment too, that a lot of times with compliance requests, typically if the site coverage is over, it could be for a shed or some sort of a structure that they didn't get a permit from. So lots of times you'll see an existing shed site coverage is at this, but likely in this case it was just for a sidewalk or a patio or some sort. So it just says existing hard surfacing.
It just kind of threw me off when it said existing hard surfaces, because I wasn't exactly sure what they were asking for.
Yeah, and then in most of the hamlets, just as a reminder, most of them are 30% site coverage, with the exception of Desert Bloom, which is 45%. So just for information.
Yes.
Yeah, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I guess one of the other things is that the development officer will often see people that want to do additional landscaping to their established yard. Maybe they're a new homeowner that buys that property. And so they'll make an application through the development officer to be able to increase their site coverage. But as Aaron alluded to, then they have to provide a stormwater management plan that allows them to do so. And so then the development officer has the ability to issue that increase in site coverage.
Okay, thank you. Anyway,
So, yeah, that was just more for educational purposes, considering that we now have a new MPC member, and so just to enlighten Amanda and a little bit of information on how site coverage and that works.
thanks, Jeffrey. Anything further on that? If not, I guess we can move on to development applications for consideration. And we have 22-257, the Cypress County Watson gravel pit, and you guys are here to adjust that, so you can sit up front then. Okay, and I can ask everyone to give us the background.
Sorry. The property is located along Township Road 72, approximately 4.1 kilometers east of Highway 41. As letter of intent describes, the county intends to use the aggregate for Cypress County's road maintenance and construction projects and for winter road maintenance. The land has been leased from Wade and Jolene Watson. In accordance with provincial legislation, gravel pits which are less than 5 hectares, 12.5 acres, require approval by the municipal authority. Pits under 12.5 acres are still required to satisfy the requirements under the Environmental Protection and Enhancement Act, the Environmental Protection Guideline for Pits, the Water Act, the Conservation and Reclamation Regulation, and all statutory or regulatory requirements that may apply. The proposed pit will be 4.99 hectares in area and will not require registration from Alberta Environment. The hours of operation will be 7 days per week between 7 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. However, crushing hours may be extended to 7 p.m. The closest residence is approximately 825 meters southeast of the proposed gravel pit. The house is on property owned by the Watsons. The life of the pit is proposed to be 10 years and will be constructed over 3 phases. The pit is estimated to produce 240,000 tons of aggregate. There are no plans to construct any structures on site. As I mentioned before, access to the gravel pit will be over Township Road 72, and conditions of approval will include conditions to mitigate dust and noise nuisances created by traffic moving on this roadway. This development permit, we reviewed the Municipal Government Act, and basically Section 616 requires the development permit for excavations and stockpiles. The Municipal Development Plan is favorable to resource extraction uses as long as they're appropriate and compatible. And also the MDP states that when we approve a resource extraction use, we should ensure that the adverse impacts of the use is minimized, i.e. noise, dust, that sort of thing. Land use bylaw under the Agricultural District 2 in the land use bylaw, it states the sand, gravel, and surface material extraction are considered to be a Class 2 discretionary use, which is why we're at the Municipal Planning Commission to get decision on this application. The minimum side and rear setbacks in this district is 20 meters as per section 12.10.11 of the land use bylaw, and the proposal meets that setback requirement in the land use bylaw. Cypress County Design Guidelines, section 9.1 roadways of the county's design guidelines states that the county may require a developer to enter into a road use agreement to ensure the roads affected by the development are adequately maintained. In conjunction with the road use agreement, the developer may be required to provide security in the form of a performance bond to meet their obligations under this agreement. Since the county is the developer, we will not make them enter into a security, provide a security bond, or performance bond will not be required for the maintenance, to ensure the maintenance, because the county does the maintenance on the roads, so we know who to talk to if there's a problem. We circulated the application to Public Works, and we had no comments. We circulated the application to Alberta Transportation, and they said that no permit from Alberta Transportation was required. Adjacent property owners asked us to ensure that noise and dust are mitigated, and as I said before, that's a condition of approval. So we recommend approval of development permit 22/257, subject to standard conditions for a gravel pit. However, we do have some unique conditions for this application. Condition 9, we're requiring them to maintain the 20-meter setback from the center of road right-of-way. Condition 10, dust must be controlled, and that portion of Township Road 72 that the gravel pit will be using for access. Operations must follow the Environmental Protection and Enhancement Act guidelines. Regular hours of operation are approved Monday to Sunday from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Crushing of materials shall be between Monday to Sunday between the hours of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The operator, condition 13, the operator shall implement the noise control measures as per the submitted pit operating plan to limit adverse impacts to adjacent landowners. I also took some photographs of the site when I was out there inspecting it. So here's a view of the site looking southeast. The proposed pit is in front of us. Range Road 23 is to the right. And yeah, that's what the southeast looks like. The east, there's a gate. There's a undeveloped township road there. I didn't climb the fence or anything, however, that's what the east looks like. That's the northeast of the site. The south, and we're looking down Range Road 23. And we're looking north, Range Road 23 as well.
Jeffrey?
Yes, when the development officers finished her presentation, I'd just like to have a quick chat and discussion with the development officers, so just before we proceed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
See, do I have any more photos? Nope, that's it for photos. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, we'll take a moment.
I think we discovered a typing error.
We did?
Yeah. In your conditions. Yes, go to your conditions.
It's cheaper, there's less of us
Right
here.
here, number 9.
If we look in the gravel pit section, it's different.
Okay.
Everybody's checking their phones now?
Because what we were seeing here was,
Is it 40 or something in here?
yeah, and
Yeah.
so, okay, and so in the
Gravel pit section, it's just
is
20
it 20?
meters. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that that wasn't
Yeah.
incorrect. Perfect. So, good. I think we're good.
Ken, anything further you'd like to add to this application?
At this point, I think we covered all the bases. We were very thorough when going through this process, all the way from dealing with the landowner to looking at environmental concerns and dust and noise. And so I think we've addressed all those, and we've discussed it with the adjacent landowners too. So one of the reasons why we like this area is this will service south of the park, and it'll go all the way down to 1-4. We actually have another gravel pit down at 1-4, but due to the sage grouse, Alberta Environment has asked us to not proceed with that gravel pit. So this gravel pit will do all the way from from the park boundary going south all the way to 1-4. So this will service quite a large area. And we project right around 10 to 14,000 yards a year will be hauled out of this gravel pit. So in context of gravel pits in the area, not very much, but for that area, quite a bit. So, anything else, Ken?
Okay, thank you. Any comments, questions from the group here? Lloyd?
Nope, up at all.
You're good.
You're ready for the motion.
You're moving it?
Yep.
Lloyd's-
Okay. I have one. And I know that it's probably nothing. I don't know if it's just typo or what, but number 5 is a condition for gravel pits everywhere. And it says that it does not obligate Cypress County to provide access to the development. But Cypress County is the developer, so they're responsible for the access, right? So that's kind of contradictory again there. Because it says that you should put that the developer puts in the approach, but then it says Cypress County does not.
Through the chair. So I think that regulation is pertaining to external developers.
Well, I know that. I'm curious as if it will come back and bite you in the butt because you're Cypress County and it clearly says that you do not provide access. So can we just take that condition out of there?
Through the chair, I think condition 5 can be removed if it's irrelevant.
And the landowners had some specifications of what they'd like to see for an approach, and we will be accommodating their request also in our process to get access to this pit. So the road is a medium grade gravel road. Yeah, about a medium grade gravel road, and so it doesn't. When you look at traffic counts, they're quite low. And so one of the things that we'll be doing is, because of the additional use of this road, is it'll go on a higher maintenance schedule. And it'll also have, I think we were addressing with a Texas gate, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were going to do a Texas gate for an approach, and 18 meter, which is the width of the approach, would be into the property.
Yeah, I'm not questioning that you wouldn't build the approach and it wouldn't be done to county specifications because I know that it will. But that number 5 is the only thing that's kind of getting me about this. Because if somebody else comes in later or, and they'll go, well, why did you do this? So I'd just be more comfortable if you just took that condition out of there for this particular one.
Through the chair, we can remove condition 5.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else have any thoughts on that?
I'm fine with that, certainly. Yep.
Is he in there working on the heat? Because it's still freaking hot in here.
How many years did they say?
Oh, Tuesday, I thought I was going to die in here. It was so hot. And it's not much better today. Still really warm.
It says 10 in here. I mean, yeah.
I thought it was gonna be longer or something.
Well, no, you can't. You
No.
can't do that. You come in here. and
Well, they say 10 to 14,000 yards a year, and actually it says 240,000,
There's no happy
so
medium.
potentially could go longer than 10, so, yeah.
I'd like to recommend an amendment to condition number 9. I think we should strike out from the center, the words from the center. Then that way that condition would be correct based on the land use bylaw. Thank you.
Okay. I just had a question for my own benefit on condition 15. Certainly if a pit reaches 5 hectares, we know that's got to get provincial approval. So the developer is required to cease all operations once the pit reaches 5. Well, this approval is only for 4.99 anyway, isn't it? Not true?
Through the chair, that's correct. It's the approvals for 4.99, but as the operation grows and they get more permits, I do believe, if my memory serves me correct, once you hit a certain threshold, you have to start getting provincial approval.
Yes.
So
But in addition to that, they'd have to come back to MPC again if they went beyond 4.99?
I believe so, yes. That's right.
Okay, thank you.
Did that at the Gill Pit.
Anything further? Are we good for, go
Through
ahead.
the chair. And because we understand that process, we would we would start that process approximately about 2 years before we get to that 5 hectares. And partly be due to, we know that it takes about 1.5 years to 2 years to get that approval for a Class 1 pit.
Thank you. Any further questions? Are we ready for the motion?
Well, I'd like to make the motion to accept it. This pit's going to be really good for the county, and you've done a lot of work on it. And Mr. Wise got a hold of me way back with his concerns, and once it was brought up, they were dealt with by administration like within a day or two. And he's very happy. I just talked to him again, so I don't see any problem with it. I hope it goes good for you and the county.
Okay, we'll vote on Lloyd's motion then. All in favor? Opposed? Unopposed? Carried. So your development permit has been approved, subject to meeting all conditions which were previously discussed. The county will mail you a copy of the development permit, or hand it to you, or whatever they want to do. Since this is a discretionary use, there is now a 3-week appeal period which the public may appeal the issuance of the permit. The development permit will be advertised in the Cypress Courier newspaper for a duration of 3 consecutive weeks. If no appeal is filed within 21 days from the date of issue, the development permit will become valid at that time. If you have any further questions, you may contact the development officer to discuss them after today's meeting. Thanks. Okay, subdivision applications are none today, so that's easy. The planners report, any discussion on the planners report, or assistant planners report, to be correct? I guess we need a motion to accept it if there's no questions.
Hang on a second. Can't find it. Don't think I had any questions because I would have written them down. I just wanted to double check. I think we're good. I'll move it. Or would you like to move it?
No, go ahead. I'll move it.
It's just, then your name's in the minutes. Yeah, I'm good. Did not have any questions.
Okay. Okay then, all in favor of accepting the planners report? Opposed? Not opposed? Carried. Any discussion on the land use amendments as listed? Hearing none, we can move on. Next meeting, Tuesday, February the 14th, back to our regular, Jeffrey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just before we adjourn the meeting today, just as a professional courtesy, half of the Municipal Planning Commission are already aware, but I just wanted to let the other half know that effective March 31st, I'm retiring from Cypress County and leaving the organization. And so my last official day in the office will be Thursday, February 23rd. And so we'll be here for the next Municipal Planning Commission meeting on February 14th. But going forward after that date, there will be, at some point, a new Director of Municipal Services that will be hired, and not sure what the situation will be, but more than likely we'll continue to attend the Municipal Planning Commission meetings But I'd like to take this opportunity to thank both the, I guess, current and previous Municipal Planning Commission board members for all their work and support, and over my course of 32 years here at Cypress County in planning and development, and I'm sure that the replacement will be very suitable, and will continue to work with the Planning Commission. So thank you for the opportunity to work with the current members, and Amanda, welcome again officially to Cypress County Municipal Planning Commission. And with that being said, that's just kind of what I wanted to bring to the attention. So.
Still sucks.
Yes. So they let such a young guy retire here, huh?
I get it, I totally understand why. It's his time in life, but it still sucks.
Okay, with that, we can adjourn the meeting.
Okay.
Do we have a time that we're supposed to be there?
Yes, about 11:45.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Well, look at you planning
for
out the
lunch?
time, the tea. I guess. By the time we get there, it will be 1:45.
Yeah.
So.